So we're going to wrap up just like finishing off a couple other things with this image. That being said, I would have spent a lot more time dodging and burning, just those fine details here. But a couple other things that I could do, for example, I'm going to flatten, okay? A couple other things I could do is perfect the hair. Quick tip for that is going back to our clone stamp with lighten and darken. See how there's some gaps in the hair? Well, I can control how my clone stamp behaves. So if I go to a blend mode of lighten, wherever something is darker, if you want to lighten a shadow, you change your blend mode to lighten, right? We went through that. If I go to 100% and I clone in there, watch how it fills in the spots. And it didn't clone over the light areas, it just filled in the shadows. So same thing here. Let's fill in some of these areas. And obviously I'd go more carefully. But I can fill in patches in the hair and make it look fuller and more lush and a little bit more vibrant. So just watch. You know, I can start to fill it in. And what I like to do as well is I like to contour the hair because all of a sudden the highlights and shadows start to make it look fuller. So do the same thing, one curve lighter and highlights, one curve darker. Great, and let's call it shadows. And so what I do is I trace what is already there. So I see a highlight here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace right over it. Let's go back over that highlight. Go back over that highlight. Keep doing that. Going back over the highlights. And then we go to the shadow areas. Go back over the shadows. And let's take a look at that. So it starts to give a little more shine to the hair. You want to push it further? You can go into liquefy. And you can start bending things out. So I can bend the hair in this way and give myself a little bit more curve. And so these are the types of things that I would do to give myself a little bit more wave and curve to the hair. So if you want to take a look at where we started for this particular photo, and then we can move all the way down to kind of perfecting the skin and contouring the face and filling in the hair. And for something like this image, if it were a portrait, I would do something around maybe 35, 40 minutes. If it's a beauty image where it has to be perfect, especially with a 50 megapixel camera, this would be well over an hour. So just knowing that level and the tools you have available to you allow you to decide what's the end use, how perfect does this need to be, is it a portrait, is it a beauty image, and what tools and how long am I going to spend on this image.